Candace Craw-Goldman from quantumhealers.com. If you enjoy having conversations about real-world energy work, quantum healing, QHHT, BQH, practical ways to stay centered, or tips on how to take care of clients, go ahead and gently tap that like or subscribe button for me if you would, or follow if you're listening elsewhere. It helps this information find the people who need it most. Thanks for being here. Today I want to talk just a little bit about channeling, who to choose to listen to, how to discern, and then I'm going to focus on hydration and water as actual tools for this very intense period we're moving through. And I'll also share why I trust checking in from time to time with particular channels. In particular, today I want to talk about my friend William Brown, who channels the collective, and how his recent October message lines up with BQH principles. And you can use some of these tips and information right away. So let's set the stage. My BQH clients will very often ask about channeling, whether or not to trust what anyone says when they claim to be channeling other beings or energies. And that's a really big question, actually. And while I'm not going to go into depth at the moment about that specifically, I do want to touch upon a question that is asked within that topic. Which channelers are real? Who should I listen to? Well, my short answer to that is it's different for everyone. And again, and you've heard this before, discernment is key. And if you discern well enough, you might find that you resonate with very few of them, or even none of them at all. Ask me how I know. Over the years, I've paid attention to less and less, frankly, but I do still listen to thought leaders and channelers. Every now and again, I listen to several channelers. I promise your system will know who and what resonates. And even if a channeler says they're a clear channel, well, information still moves through a human filter. That doesn't make it automatically false, but it does make it human. Words, concepts, all of that are shaped by personality, vocabulary, life experience, culture. And then the question becomes, what does the signal, the information feel like in your body? You can get goosebumps, calm clarity, an aha moment, even a good grounded feeling. And yes, those are good signs. If you feel tightness, confusion, fear without insight, just set that aside. And you can change your mind over time who feels right to you, because resonance evolves as you do and actually as the world does. During 2020, I found more than one channel to be, well, let's just say compromised. And I found myself questioning even more than usual what concepts they were sharing, what they were saying. Okay, so with that foundation, I want to highlight someone that I do currently trust, and I already mentioned him, William Brown. He's a friend and a kind, integrity-driven human. His core principles align with mine, and bonus, I have experienced a tandem session with him, one where we both went into trance, and that energetic connection went a long way to build even more trust. His wife, Allison Brown, was the practitioner for that session, and of course, she's a BQH practitioner. And she's a Reiki practitioner and a respected author and a member of the quantumhealers.com community. So I've watched Allison and Will's work and Will, how he shows up. And that's humble and service-oriented and absolutely guru-free. And on their October 17th, 2025 podcast, I listened to his most recent messages from the collective. And this is broadcast on his YouTube channel, which is at Messages from the Collective. Much of what was contained in the message resonated so clearly, I wanted to talk about it here. So the heart of the session was all about connection over separation and how simple physical choices can help us stay aligned, during big energetic shifts, kind of like the one we're going through now. And one section about hydration and water especially stood out, and it mirrors BQH principles beautifully. And that's why I wanted to make this video. Now I want to share a few practical steps inspired directly by the collective's message, combined with my own BQH perspective on energy integration and self-care. So here are 3 ways actually to work with water and energy in the weeks ahead. 1, charge your water with intention. Before you drink it, hold it, hold a glass in your hand or even a bottle of water if that's what you have, with both hands, and breathe slowly. Place an intention into that water. It can be clarity, calm, integration, truth, whatever your system needs, whatever you're looking for, actually. You don't need fancy words. And sincerity is the technology. And you can do this silently or out loud. It makes no difference. 2, hydrate early and consistently. Don't wait until the afternoon when you're thirsty to catch up. Start the morning right with a big glass of water and continue to keep sipping. It can change your entire day's energetic stability. The collective mentioned that the more hydrated you are, the gentler the incoming energies feel. And in BQH, I always talk about how the practitioner and the client need to be very well hydrated to make the sessions run well. Okay. Now, you have to hydrate correctly. So look for some natural sea salt, minerals, or a good electrolyte to help you there. And you can pair this water, number 3 tip, with the earth. The collective reminded us that grounding connects everything. So you can try drinking your charged water while standing barefoot outside. That can create a natural triangle, you, the water, and the earth. And your nervous system can really feel that harmony immediately. I'm trying to be outside as much as humanly possible, especially this fall, before winter sets in. And there's another layer that I love from that message that absolutely puts a spotlight on beyond quantum healing. Water as memory and as messenger. The collective said every drop of water holds more knowledge than an entire galaxy. Just think about that. And in BQH session, we connect with water in every session. We start the sessions that way. And water often shows up symbolically, really. Clearing, transmitting, transmuting, reflecting. The collective answered a question about water beings too during that podcast from somebody who wrote in the question. And I'm reminded that the session I actually sent into Dolores Cannon to evaluate for my level 3 status all those long years ago was from a client who experienced life as a water being. And I remember having a life like that too. As a matter of fact, I remember very well that my husband was the practitioner for that session, and he was a little bit thrown. Every other session he had done before then was from a basic past life. All right, so these connections are very consistent. They're very strong. You can bless your shower, your bath, your soup pot, your tea kettle, and some clients or practitioners even set intentions while rinsing their vegetables or watering the garden. Matter of fact, my local vet charges and blesses every bag of IV fluids she hangs for her clients. Tiny rituals to be sure, but they can bring big results. So why bring this forward now? Because October, and really honestly the rest of this year, feels particularly eventful and impactful, possibly bigger than all that happened in 2020. I'm certain there are still big surprises ahead, really big ones. And that sense doesn't just come from what I'm reading or from what other channelers are saying or from the news cycle. It comes through my meditations, my dreams, my client sessions too. And when timelines feel this charged, collective emotions can sometimes run high. And the old habit for many is this separation thing, this sort of, either going off on your own or hanging out with only the people who think the way that you do. But the antidote is beautifully ordinary if you think about it. Drink, breathe, ground yourself, connect with the earth and the planet, talk to each other, make human connections. My favorite easy way is at the grocery store. Initiate one heartfelt conversation a day with someone you might usually pass by or not really say much to. And the point isn't to debate beliefs or to find out what team they're on or what they believe in at all, really. It's to witness that divine spark in another person. All right, let's step back for a moment to channeling. If a message, no matter what the source of it is, or even the context of it, if it lights you up with clean energy, courageous, calm, joy, possibility, that's resonance. But if it leaves you frantic or scared or small or feeling judged, well, that's a red flag. The best teachings challenge you without diminishing you, and they seek to inspire. They invite you into more of yourself, more of remembering who you really are. Will's October 17th message does exactly that. Grounded, unifying, actionable. All the things BQH is. Connect to water, connect to earth, choose conversation over isolation. See the divine for the costume. For my fellow BQH and QHHT practitioners, here's a simple client practice that you can start today. Pre-session, invite your clients to increase their hydration 24 to 48 hours before their session. Go ahead and start that intention with a glass of water in the morning and in the evening, Get ready for it all in a short grounding breath. Hand on the heart works perfectly. And of course, we increase that and, ramp that up in a BQH session. Keep water nearby. And when emotion starts to get heavy or moves quite a bit, pause for a few slow sips. And in the session, you can ask the client to feel the water travel through the body, anchoring insight. And after a session, you can suggest a water window for the next 3 days. Dolores used to say, we're open to our SC, our subconscious, for 3 days after a session. You could do this with water, with any quantum healing session. First with the glass, gratitude with the last, and barefoot moment outside daily. All those things, right? Focus upon all the positive results gained from that session. It can only do well. Okay, if you're a client or simply curious about quantum healing, start small. Fill a glass, add a calm breath, whisper your intention, slip slowly. That's energetic healing. That's quantum healing. Look up and offer one genuine smile to another human being. That's connection. Connection changes the field. It really does. It does. It's actual and real and palpable energy. Okay, finally, let's have another word about trust. I trust Will and the collective right now because of all of the people they have beautifully insisted in all the ways in which I see how he and Allison are expanding into this new reality, and the fruit of their work tastes like clarity, compassion, and practical action. And it sounds an awful lot like the quantum healing work I've been nurturing since 2008. And also, they've been really helpful with me, and especially all the critters on our farm. And I'm going through quite a bit of critter drama right now, particularly cats, this fall of 2025. All right, if this message has been helpful at all, please just nudge that like or subscribe button so others can find it. And if you're a service to others practitioner who resonates with the guru-free community, join us. You can learn BQH too and get into this kind of work if you want to. And it's a place for QHHT and BQH and other quantum healing practitioners, energy workers, and explorers who value open dialogue, real support. And remember, try to start one sincere conversation today that you might not have thought about doing yesterday. I bet you will be glad you did. Okay, thanks for joining in. See you next time.